Good day to you. My name is Fred Oakman, and as always, with me today is Mr. Jake Peters. We are PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 159. This is a show where we share our feelings about the current state of PlayStation. But before we get on with the show, I'd like to invite you all to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, which is youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome. You can visit us on Twitter at PS This Is Awesome. And we also have a Tumblr page, which is tumblr.ps or psthisisawesome.tumblr.com. If you want to make fun of our trophy list on the PSN, you can find me at anchorless_81 and Mr. Jake Peters at jakesaw01. And as always, you can write the show at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. But most importantly, don't forget to share this shit with your friends and be sure to leave comments and rate the podcast as you see fit. Jake, I will always screw up the introduction now that I have one. I just can't do it right anymore. How you doing?
It's fine. I don't know that, unless I always found podcast intros like that to be weird because they almost seem like, I get why they exist, but it's like everybody knows now. Like at this point in the history of like YouTube and YouTube shows and podcasts and stuff, right. Everybody knows like if you like the show, fucking just go share it with your friends, right? Comment on iTunes, all that kind of stuff. Like I wouldn't say that I have a problem with it or anything like that. It's just fascinating to me that like people continue to do these 2 to 3 minute long just like scripted things like every single
and we
episode.
Watch our last listener walk out the doors. How kidding the beginning of our show is. No, I'm kidding. No, man, I just do it because you don't know who's listening. And
sure.
I do put YouTube shit on there. I put the podcast on YouTube. So if you prefer YouTube and you just happen to stumble on the podcast on Spotify or whatever, and you'd rather just put it on your TV, we have most of the podcasts on there, at least the recent ones. I put them up there as soon as the episodes hit. So that is a lot of extra work on my part, and we don't really get a lot of plays on YouTube, but I figure why the hell not? It's a free way to get our podcast out there. So, but I don't know, man. Are you playing anything new? I'm playing Days Gone, and I'm beginning to like it more and more as I play it, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I also jumped into Call of Duty Warzone again for the first time in a long time with my buddy LJ, who writes a show occasionally, and a couple of his friends. And we had a couple good rounds on Warzone. That was fun. It ran really nice on the PS5. It took a while to get the chat thing figured out, just because normally you and I don't do online chat and stuff. But it is fun to game with people that you kind of know in the real world who are like nice. You know what I mean? And they're not a bunch of asshats. Are you playing anything cool?
So I went through and I got to platinum on whatever Astro's Playroom.
I got to ask. I guess over there. Did you beat my speed runs?
I didn't do the speedrun thing.
Ah, God damn it. Right,
which is, it's kind of interesting that that's a thing, like that they have a secondary list for that game.
It's smart.
It's like almost like they did that just to kind of filter out the trophies that they didn't want you to have to get in order to get the platinum.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an interesting way to do it. And it's kind of cool. Like maybe other developers will do that too, because there's a lot of trophy, like certain trophies
online,
that certain
multiplayer
games have.
Trophies.
Make those a different list or something like that. I mean, and I don't know if it's possible, but it would be interesting if conceivably like a game could have multiple platinums, like one for each one of those lists. I don't think it's supported. I think Sony only allows one platinum per game. Otherwise, somebody like fucking the My Name is Mayo guys could come out and be like, we're going to have 15 lists and they're all going to have a platinum trophy. And it would just completely devalue the platinum.
For those who don't know, that's just a game where it's an easy platinum. You just keep clicking.
It's $1 and you just literally click a screen for 5 minutes and you get a platinum trophy.
What a genius way to make money, though.
I guess. It's definitely interesting.
Dude.
So I did platinum that. I thought that was really cool.
Congrats.
I really kind of wish I had a 4K TV, because the models of all the PlayStation peripherals that they have in the game are really impressive. So I would love to be able to see them in like high definition and like look at them and walk around them and kind of get like a really high def kind of view of the models because they're super accurate. Like,
yeah, they are.
The stickers with the serial numbers and like being able to look through the vents on the machine to see what's inside and like all that kind of stuff. Dude,
speaking of that game, I saw someone that got the trophy for that, the platinum. The last trophy they purposefully did was that you pick up a trophy in the game. You know what I mean? Like in the room. That was the last one. They pick up the platinum trophy, and then it just said platinum trophy. Congratulations! It's like the most satisfying platinum trophy.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's funny. But yeah, so I played that. I've been playing Bug Snacks actually. Not like a ton, but I've been playing it for 2 or 3 hours. Sarah really enjoys watching me play it because it's just super like kind of cutesy and entertaining, and you know, just like the names of all the animals are super interesting, like super cute, and like kind of their likes and dislikes and their, you know, the ways that you catch them and stuff it's all very like adorable. There is kind of like a weird, like when you start the game, in certain aspects of the game, kind of there's this weird like kind of darker undertone to it. Kind of interesting how it plays out, but because like this one character in the game who's like the leader of this like island of people is just missing, and so you're like trying to find her. And at the beginning of the game, you like crash land on this island because it's of a storm and all this stuff at night, and so there's like some kind of spookiness to it, but at the same time, it's very cutesy and bright and colorful, and so it's. I'm interested to see like if anything comes of it, or if it's just like a gone home situation where you think that it's going to be something that it's not.
Yeah, right.
Of, like the mood of it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested in that. And then I've been playing a little bit more of Death Stranding. I've been talking to my brother about it because he's the one that let me borrow it. And like, it's been really hard for me to be in the mood to play that game because it's like, I really enjoy what's going on and I want to keep going, but you have to be in a certain mood to want to like sit through a 20-minute cutscene and then just walk around for 30 minutes. Cause that's literally what the game has been so far, is literally 20-minute cutscene, then walk for a while, then 20-minute cutscene, then walk for a while. And apparently it gets more interesting. Like I just got to a part where I can like fucking do stealth takedowns and like punch guys and stuff. And now I'm like, okay, I'm in. Like I'm invested now that I have agency over this fucking game. And I'm not just like walking around trying not to fall down a hill. But the thing is that like the presentation is so good. Like Kojima is so good about presentation.
Yeah,
the presentation of this game is just perfect. And like, do you remember the original trailers? One of my favorite video game trailers of all time was one of the very first trailers for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, where they had that song by Garbage in the background.
So
do you remember that? It was so fucking, like the music and the video,
like
the trailer matchup was so good. Like the mood was captured perfectly. And he does that a lot in this game too, where like you'll be walking around and then all of a sudden this music will start playing and like the artist name and stuff will show up on the screen while you're walking, almost like a music video. And like it just fits the mood perfectly. And the music he picks is so good. But then like I was telling my brother, like I don't mind the walking around part. I don't mind like the using the tools that you make to try and climb and everything. But the thing that kind of bugs the shit out of me is like the whole like trying to balance your cargo thing, because you've probably seen videos online of people like falling down and stuff,
dumping shit everywhere.
Because you lose your balance and you start like flailing around and running forward and like almost falling down, and it literally takes it from, to me personally, it takes it from like this really serious like Kojima-esque game, and then immediately it becomes one of these like silly, like overblown physics games where you're like Octodad trying not to knock shit over, and like it's what it kind of looks like. Yeah, it almost becomes slapstick, which is very, I don't know, like it takes me out of it a little bit. According to my brother, he felt kind of the same way at the beginning, and then you get to a certain point where you have more tools and stuff available to you that makes the game a little bit more digestible. And you can focus more on like the gameplay stuff isn't as much of a struggle, and you can focus more on like the atmosphere and the story and all that crap, because all that's really interesting. I mean, it's very weird and like hard to understand in the super Kojima
in general, though.
But I am interested to go forward. So, but I've only played it a little bit since I got maybe an hour since I installed it on my PS5. But I will say, one thing I didn't mention last week, because I'm playing this backwards compatible, because there's no native version of Death Stranding on PS5, and I'm using a disc. The thing about it that I wasn't expecting is I don't really remember how it loaded on the PS4, but it seems like it doesn't load any faster on the PS5. And I thought maybe with the SSD and stuff, like it would load the levels and shit faster.
Well, did you have it installed on an external hard drive or the internal?
It's on the SSD, the internal SSD.
Okay, because I have my PS4 games installed. You can actually configure the PS5 to install PS4 games on an external because they're not required to be put on the SSD. And I don't know if that affects the speediness of them. Regardless, you can save a hard drive space doing it that way. So I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, I have it on the internal drive, and it works great. You know, it's not like I'm waiting forever, right? It's like a 15-second load time. It's not like this really super long load time. I just was thinking like, oh, maybe with this new super fancy SSD, like I'll get some kind of like really real snappy load time, you know? But it seems like maybe on the backwards compatible stuff, like it's not as optimized as it would be on like a native PS5 game.
Yep. Very cool. Well, Jake, usually we don't put a lot of stock into the Video Game Awards, but it's coming up. I believe it's coming up they're going to air it on December 10th. So they have open voting right now, thegameawards.com. You can just go there and cast your vote, sign in or whatever. I thought it would be kind of fun for the show to kind of look through. I mean, you and I don't play a lot of newer games, but it'd be kind of neat just to see some of these titles, just kind of get an idea of what's popping up and our opinions on maybe which one should win if we've played some of them, our opinions, and which ones maybe we think will win. And that might be kind of fun, is maybe keep like a list of what our predictions are for the winners. But let's comb through these real quick if you have a minute. So the big game is the game of the year, right? Everybody wants the game of the year. So the 6 nominees are Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, which I haven't played that, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and The Last of Us Part 2. I think that's interesting. Doom Eternal is a good game, I believe. You had a good time with that one, right?
Yeah. So if I'm thinking out at the list, can you scroll through them one more time?
Yeah, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, which was a super giant game, and Animal Crossing New Horizons, and The Last of Us Part 2.
So
Game of the year, and it says real quick, defines Game of the Year as recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields.
If I had to pick one out of that list, I don't know. It might be Final Fantasy or Doom Eternal. I think that it's possible that The Last of Us will win. I think The Last of Us is the most impressive of all of those games in terms of like its scope and its visuals and like its story and all that stuff. But there's some like gameplay aspects of The Last of Us Part 2, and we talked about it in our spoiler cast that like
it wasn't perfect.
They like kind of they pull it down off of that 10 out of 10 for me. But to be fair, I don't think that Final Fantasy VII Remake is perfect either. I think it's too long, for example. Although The Last of Us, I think, is too long as well.
And to be completely candid, I only played 2 of the games. I played Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2. I haven't played the other 4.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think that Doom Eternal, like, it's kind of an odd man out because it's an arcade shooter. Yeah. I think out of I've played all of them but Hades, okay? And Hades, I can believe is amazing because Supergiant doesn't make bad games. But I haven't played it, so I don't know because it's not on PlayStation. Well, it might be on PlayStation now, but it wasn't.
Did you play Animal Crossing?
Oh, sorry, I did not play Animal Crossing.
Okay.
But as far as I understand, Animal Crossing is just like one of those phenomena that it's not like
amazing.
It's not this amazing game, but it's an Animal Crossing game, and it's a fairly good one, so everyone just loves it. Of the games that I've played, so all of them but Animal Crossing and Hades, I would say of those 4 games, the most flawless is probably Doom Eternal, but in my opinion. But I think that it's got some stuff stacked against it, and that's it being like this arcade first-person shooter. There's no like real story element to it. Like, it's very like run and gun. And like, you know, I would say that, you know, if you're talking about all around in terms of the story being included.
Yeah, it is. Game direction, all that stuff.
Right. I would say I could see maybe something like Ghost of Tsushima winning, to be honest with you. There's a lot of facets here because
it is a tough choice. A lot of good games came out in 2020. So
but if you think about it, right? So The Last of Us, it has got that just like hard hitting, edgy, fucking just gritty, super drama kind of appeal to it. Yeah. And you've got Final Fantasy VII, that is just literally dripping with nostalgia. Yeah. So you've got that out. Not to mention they did a really good job of remaking that world, other than the fact that I think it's like 20 hours too long.
Yeah, and Ghost of Tsushima was really fresh.
And Ghost of Tsushima is just like took you by surprise. That game's fucking great for being the super new IP. The story, although I will say, like, of those three, the story is probably the weakest for Ghost of Tsushima. I felt it was a little stiff at times. Sure. But dude, I don't even know which one I'd pick. Like, if I had to pick one for Game of the Year out of all of them, like probably would pick. Oh, dude, that's so tough. I don't know, because they're all different genres too, with the exception of like Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us are a little bit similar in terms of the third person actioniness. I would
just straight up if I had to like put money on it, I would say The Last of Us Part 2.
I could see that just because it's so controversial and edgy, but at the same time, it's like so well done.
Yeah, dude, the polish on that game, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so well done. I mean, I think that the one reason why I think that it might not win is simply because of how it got so much backlash from the gaming community. And
I don't want to say it out loud.
No, I don't even know. Well, that's that there's some story elements, right? That, there's like that plus how long it is and, stuff we've talked about on the spoiler cast. So if you really want to know the reasons, you can go look at the spoiler cast because it echoes to an extent. I don't think that it's as bad as some of these guys. Like, there's that like Angry Joe guy and stuff who literally fucking just shit a pile of bricks after playing this game. I don't think it's that bad. But,
dude, I don't even think it's close to that bad.
No.
It just hit everybody different. It's just a matter of what you're looking for in a game.
And I'll be honest with you. I don't want this to be like a Last of Us Part 2 spoiler cast or anything, but like, I think that this game is really one of those games that you have to play it and then let it fucking marinate for a bit.
Yeah.
And then maybe play it a second time.
Dude, I'm going to play it a second time. No doubt. I'm going to play it on the PS5. Do you think it's going to get an upgrade?
I don't know if it'll get an upgrade or not. If it does, I would love to see a PS5, even a PS5 update or like an update to the PS4 version that takes advantage of some of the PS5 features. Would be cool, So,
all right. Well, so what do you got to pick one? I'm going to write it down, and then when the Game Awards happen, we're going to revisit.
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to pick Final Fantasy VII.
All right. I thought you were going to go Doom Eternal. I already had it written down. All right. I'm going to say Final Fantasy VII.
Because you're saying what I think would win. Or are you saying what I would pick?
No, what you think will win. I think they're kind of one.
If it's what I think would win, I would say Final Fantasy VII. If it's which one I would pick, probably Doom Eternal.
All right. So let's look at a couple more of these. We're not going to go through them all. They have a million categories. Best game direction is kind of the same shit. It's the exact same games except for Animal Crossing. They had Half-Life Alyx. And she said award for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. So we're not going to look at that one.
Yeah, if for that one, I'd probably pick The Last of Us. Maybe. Well, I haven't played Half-Life Alyx. That game is supposedly fucking great.
Game direction and design, dude. Creative vision. A whole brand new Half-Life game in VR. That sounds like, dude, that's a big risk.
But is there like some kind of a thing where it gets a bonus just because it's in VR? You know what I mean? Because if it's not just because it's in VR, then it's just another Half-Life game. And to be fair, I have not played it, so I'm just making some wild assumptions here.
So you would say Last of Us 2 on that?
So if you're talking about like game design and direction and vision, I would probably say The Last of Us. And that's not even me just being a fanboy. If you've played the game, you can see the scope of it. Like, it is insane.
Yeah.
So,
all right. I agree. Let's keep rolling here. So it's almost like it just wins all the categories. The next one is best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game.
Probably.
Well, the options are 13 Sentinels. I don't know what that is. And then Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, of the ones that I've played, it's got to be The Last of Us. I have, obviously we have maybe certain issues with some of the story beats, but I think that generally, like, that's just a personal preference. It doesn't mean the story is bad.
Yeah. Okay. Next, best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievements in the art design and animation, in artistic design animation. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, or The Last of Us Part 2. Art direction. It might be Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Very stylized. Well, not when I say stylized, but very, it's just awesome looking.
I don't know. Like, if I was a betting man, I might pick Final Fantasy for this one too.
All right, I'll put you down for that.
Just because of the way that they recreated that classic game is just, it's impressive. I did not expect it to be as good as it was.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going T-Lu also on that one. I think I've been that straight down the row here. Best score in music was Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and The Last of Us Part 2. I wouldn't
Doom Eternal would be my pick, but that's just because I love like the atmosphere of like the fucking heavy metal soundtrack with this super chaotic gameplay. It's just, oh man, it's so good.
Perfect. It's a perfect pairing. Best audio design. This is a little different. Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3, and The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, I wish I'd played Resident Evil 3 for this category, because if I had, and it's anything like Resident Evil 2, I'd pick that.
Yeah. So we're not going to answer that one because I don't know on that one. Best performance. Oh, this one might be kind of fun. Best performance. Ashley Johnson is Ellie, Laura Bailey is Abby, and the dude who played Jin Sakai, I can't say his first name. I can't pronounce his name.
Jin Sakai. Yeah. Okay.
Jin Sakai. Yeah, all right. From Ghost of Tsushima. And then Logan Cunningham played Hades, and then Najee Jeter as Miles Morales.
See, the Miles Morales one is kind of shitty because not many people have played it yet.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call.
I mean, I'm sure he did a good job. The thing that sucks about the guy, what was the guy's name who played Jin Sakai?
I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to say it.
He's Japanese, right?
Yeah, Daisuke Tsuji or something like that.
I think what's going to hold that one back from winning is
wasn't much.
I think that he did a very good job, but like the Japanese kind of culture is very stiff and stilted. And I think that like it may come across as almost like a boring portrayal. Do you understand what I mean?
Right.
But I think he did a very good job. It's
really Ashley Johnson as Ellie.
I could see maybe Laura Bailey as Abby because like that character, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Ellie is that obviously Ashley Johnson is Ellie. That's classic. I mean, she did a great job, but you know, the Abby character coming in and being as dynamic as she was throughout the story. And I feel like her performance, now this is a lot of this is in the writing, and I'm not going to give anything away from the story, but I feel like Abby's character got much more of an opportunity. Laura Bailey got much more of an opportunity to play a much more dynamic role. Whereas like in The Last of Us Part 2, Ellie's character is pretty much just angry the whole fucking game.
Yeah, just ready to go.
Yeah, so like if I had to, I mean, I would never bet. It's hard to bet against Ellie, but if I had to pick between the two of them, I would probably pick Laura Bailey. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Now this one I can't even talk on. I haven't played any of these games. This is kind of why I wanted to look over this, because there were going to be some games that you and I probably never even heard of or played. Games for impact for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. If Found, Kentucky Route Zero TV edition, Spiritfarer, Tell Me Why, and Through the Darkest of Times. No idea.
Yeah, I haven't played any of those games.
Yeah, so we're going to pass.
I've heard of a couple of them, like Kentucky Route Zero and stuff, but I've never played any of them.
Yeah. All right. Best ongoings awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. So we have Apex Legends, Destiny 2, which I hear is awesome now, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. I think No Man's Sky should just get it. That's such a success story.
Dude, every year, though, they like just raise the bar. I'm really impressed with what they're doing over there. I hear, like you said, I hear that the new stuff they added this year for Destiny is pretty fucking awesome. My biggest problem with Destiny, and I get why they do this, but like I have Destiny 2, right? But for me to play the new stuff that they just came out with, I've got to back purchase like fucking $50 worth of shit, and then I can buy the new update. You know what I mean? Right. I fucking hate that. Like I should be able to just buy the new stuff, and it includes all the old crap.
I agree. But I'm saying No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Best ongoing. Best indie. Hades got great critical praise. It's on the list.
Dude, I gotta play this fucking game. I love Supergiant stuff.
Yeah. Hades is supposed to be the shit, dude. So Hades, Carry On, Fall Guys, Ultimate Knockout, Spelunky 2, or Spiritfarer. I'm going to say probably Hades just based on what I've heard. Best indie.
Yeah, I know Spelunk, the original Spelunky was like a classic. Like everyone loved that game. A lot of people love that game, but I haven't really heard a lot of like overt praise for Spelunky 2. I don't know.
Right. Right.
Maybe you have. I'm not sure. But to be fair, I haven't really been seeking it either.
Yep. Next category was Best Mobile Game. Call of Duty Mobile, Among Us, Genshin Impact, Legends of whatever, Runeterra, and then Pokemon Cafe Mix. I'm going to go Genshin on that.
Dude, it might be that Among Us game. Dude, that game is fucking... I don't know anything about it, but I keep hearing it fucking everywhere.
It's like almost like a Clue. It's like Clue, where like one of you is the bad guy, and you're on a spaceship.
Since you're picking Genshin, I'll pick Among Us because it's going to be one of those two. It almost has to be. So I'm curious which one it'll be.
All right, fair enough. All right, so that's Best Mobile, Best Community Support. I can't really speak to any of these. Destiny 2, Apex Legends. It's like all the ongoing games. Except there's a game on there called Valorant that was added to the list. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not even going to say anything on that one. It's going to probably be the same thing as best overall game. Best VR AR game for the best experience available in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. Dreams, Half-Life Alyx, Marvel's Iron Man VR, Star Wars Squadrons, or The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. It's going to be Half-Life Alyx, no doubt about it. Well, it could be Dreams, but I bet Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, Star Wars Squadrons. Did you play the VR for that?
Yeah, dude. It was fine. It wasn't like amazing though. Like it was good. I enjoyed it, but it didn't like blow my. It was just a little too grainy. Like the quality of the VR, it lost a lot of quality in the VR.
Yeah, dude. There's no way. I feel like there's no way Half-Life doesn't win that just because. Of its legacy. Yeah. So this one is an easy shoe-in one. Innovation in accessibility, which is recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. So Last of Us Part 2 is on here, and they added so much crap to that game. Yeah. I can't imagine that losing. So I'm going to say accessibility, TLU. For the listeners, the other options were Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, Hyperdot, and Watch Dogs Legion. Best action. I haven't seen any other. I don't know what the other ones kind of offered, but The Last of Us really kind of offered a bunch of shit. I'm looking at the list for this best action. This is a weird lineup. It's a really fucking weird lineup because where does a game like this actually ever fit in at this point in this day and age? But best action, best game in action genre focused primarily on combat, Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Neo 2, or Streets of Rage 4. They just had. I'm gonna go with fucking Doom on this one. To me, it seems like the most actiony action like of all of them. And to be fair, Half-Life Alyx is probably interesting, but it's VR, so the action is gonna be a little bit kind of weird because it's
Yeah, dude.
You know, you're limited by your controls there. And then again, this fucking Hades game, dude, I need to play it because there's something about it. Apparently, it's fucking in every single game every single Game Awards category. So there must be something good about it.
Action adventure is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, or The Last of Us Part 2.
I'm going to say Ghost of Tsushima for that one.
I like it.
Again, freaking Miles Morales is just more Spider-Man.
Well, I don't know. I really want to play that. I heard it's.
I do really want to play it. And from what I understand, it's very good. Mm-hmm. But it's like same thing with The Last of Us. It's like, okay, The Last of Us iterated on it, but it's still the same core gameplay from the first Last of Us game. There's nothing like innovative about it. So that's kind of where I'm at.
All right. Well, there's only a few more categories left. We might as well just cruise through them if you're good on it. Best role-playing game. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royal, Wasteland 3, or Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I've played Persona 5 and I've played... Yeah, so of the three that I've played, I'm guessing it's probably Persona. It's kind of this is kind of cheap though because Persona 5 came out like 2 years ago.
Oh, you want cheap? Just wait to the next category. Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead.
All right, best fighting game. Fighting means like punching and kicking and fighting.
Yeah, you can take this one because I have nothing to do with fighting games generally. Even though I like them.
Yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Street Fighter V Champion Edition, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, or Under Night in Birth EXE Late CL-R. Don't know what the hell that means. Why is Streets of Rage 4 not here? It's a brawler. It's a fighter. Why
it's
they put
not
it
a fighting game though?
It's not an action game. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not an action game.
Brawler is an action game. Literally, all you're doing is action. It's like running around fighting things.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for this.
It's not like a one-on-one fighter is what they're referring to.
I'm gonna Mortal Kombat 11, dude.
Yeah, it looks so good. Dude, Mortal Kombat 11 is one of those games where it's like, I'm never going to fucking play this, but every single time, like because I follow Mortal Kombat on Facebook, every single time one of their videos comes up where it highlights all the character moves and shit, I just sit there and watch them because I think it looks so fucking awesome.
So badass. Dude, did you play the Mortal Kombat game that's on the PS Plus collection? I have played that a little bit. I left it off my list. I've been playing it. It's really good. It's really good. Just play the campaign mode.
Maybe I'll try it. Is there like an easy mode?
Yeah, it's really easy, dude. The campaign mode is so easy. And
Maybe I'll try it.
It's a real long story. I fucking love what they're doing with that game, Mortal Kombat. Best family game. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, we have Animal Crossing New Horizons, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, Fall Guys, Ultimate Knockout, Mario Kart Live, Home Circuit, Minecraft Dungeons, and Super Mario, The Origami King.
I have to imagine that this is going to be one that Animal Crossing is going to win for sure.
That's what I'm going. I'm going with Animal Crossing. It's in the list. Best sim strategy game, Crusader Kings 3, Desperados 3, Gears Tactics, Microsoft Flight Simulator, or XCOM Chimera Squad, which still hasn't been ported to console. I have no opinion. Let's keep moving. I don't know those games. Best sports racing game, Dirt 5, F1 2020, FIFA 21, NBA 2K21, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
I'm going to pick Tony Hawk just because those games are awesome. I haven't played the remake, but I understand they're pretty faithful.
I want it to win, that's why. And then last is Best Multiplayer, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Among Us, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, or Valorant. I'm going to say Call of Duty Warzone. I'm going to go out on a limb.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
All right, cool. That's all we got. I mean, there's other content creators. Best debut game. Oh, let's do best debut game. Carry On, Mortal Shell, Raji, an Ancient Epic, Roki, and Phasmophobia. Never heard of those. And then all the rest of the shit is best esports. So we'll pass on those. So that's interesting. So the Games Awards are coming up. Go cast your vote if you're interested in doing that. Just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. And now we have some votes. You and I have our opinions. We'll see what happens after December 10th. We'll see what wins and see how close we got. Jake, news. This is interesting. Metro Exodus, which I don't think you've played yet, which is a great game. It's the third game in the Metro series following the last light at Metro 23, is getting a free PlayStation 5 upgrade in 2021, according to 4A Games. This is exciting for two reasons. The game already runs fantastic, but the upgraded version is going to feature faster loading times, enhanced textures and ray tracing, and additionally, 4A Games indicated that they're currently working on the next Metro title, which will feature multiplayer, which will be a first for the series. And if you're interested in this game, it is on sale on a Black Friday deal right now on the PSN for $13.19, and it's going to get a free PS5 upgrade. Now is the time if you're interested.
I was literally just looking at that before we podcast. I was thinking about maybe buying it. If I don't get around to it, just waiting until the PS5 version comes out.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
Just do it. So while I haven't tried yet, is I have the original PSVR unit, which actually downshifts the resolution that goes to the TV because the breakout box is older. And let's use an HDMI switch. PSVR's Sony exclusive Blood and Truth has apparently been the beneficiary of the PS5 hardware. There has been a lot of talk about how great this game is running on the PS5, and I'm interested in trying it now. So, Jake, you never played Blood and Truth. I don't even think I let you play the demo, did I?
Yeah, I did. I played it at your house.
Oh, you did try? Okay, yeah. So I guess it's getting crazy fidelity upgrades, and it just runs and looks like a million times better. Sony's rolled out the second PS5 firmware update, and it should be available to anyone listening to this podcast today. It allegedly rectifies an issue that users were having with the DualSense not charging while the unit was in rest mode, as well as system performance enhancements. That's what she said. I had to put that in there. All right. The Golden Joystick Game Awards were held, and The Last of Us Part 2 received 5 awards, unsurprisingly. It's actually a game I want to return to on the PS5. Jake, do you think you'll be coming back to that game on the PS5? Like, you kind of brought that up that you might, but...
The Last of Us?
Yeah, Part 2.
Yeah, I'll probably play it again at some point.
It's a long grind, dude.
That's the thing, is that like if I play it through again, it's going to be on easy and I'm just going to fucking blast through it because I want to experience the story again. I don't really care about the gameplay all that much.
Yeah.
So now that I've played the game, I've kind of wrestled with the story a little bit and kind of digested it a little bit. I want to play through it again and see how it hits me the second time.
Fair enough. And then Naughty Dog still has not said much about the multiplayer part of this, the factions they've been working on. So I'm curious about that.
Hopefully it's not too little too late.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, I'm interested, but it's going to have to be something you're going to have to buy probably. So it better be really awesome. So the consumeristic nature of our country is upon us as Black Friday reels its tantalizing head towards the low and middle class consumers. Jake, have you been eyeing any Black Friday deals?
I've been looking. There are some deals on TVs, but I mean, the only thing that I'm really interested in is a television. And obviously, like, one of the places that I religiously go to on Black Friday is Home Depot. Because I just love walking around that store and all the sales bins and everything. I think it's
so much good shit.
There's so much good shit. And especially as a homeowner, it's awesome. I've been looking at TVs and, we went to Best Buy last weekend and I looked at a TV that I was interested in getting. I almost bought one, but then, they told me that the price might change on Black Friday. So I haven't pulled the trigger or anything. You actually bought that TV, right? That Sony TV?
Yeah, I did. The problem is, dude, I have the hardest time buying something that I don't need because I have a 55-inch Vizio that works perfectly fine. It's a big freaking TV. You've been to my house. It's big. It looks nice. It runs great. It's 6 years old. I've had no problems with it at all. So for me to pull the trigger and buy a new TV, which seemed a little irresponsible, just because I'm not a wasteful person. But then I mean, when we went and looked at those TVs, you're right. They looked so good. And I was just like, I have a PS5 and I had some extra cash lying around. And I'm thinking, it's been a rough year. And you start thinking about these things. It's been a tough year for us all. And I'm going to be probably working from home for the next 6 months. I might as well enjoy the benefits of a 4K UHD awesome TV. So I got the 65-inch Sony X900H. But yeah, dude, it's a killer deal. Like you said,
that's the best. That's the best deal of all the televisions in that price range. I mean, and it irritates me to no end that they did not discount the 55-inch version.
Yeah, it should be like $700 or $650 or something. Yeah, it's discounted $100. So for the listeners listening, the 55-inch version of this television retails at $999 right now. The Black Friday ad for it had it at $908, which is like, I don't know what, $91,
$92.
$92 off. The 65-inch retails at $1,400. And it's on sale for $969, which is like what? That's a ton of money, man. That's like $450.
That's like 35% off, something like that.
Yeah, ridiculous. So, although it was a pretty penny, dude, I'm so excited to get my TV. I don't have it yet. I'm getting it on Saturday. I'll tell you what. I also took advantage of Black Friday is I bought 3 UHD 4K Blu-ray discs to watch on my new TV. And 2 of them are for movies I haven't seen. John Wick, which was on sale for $8 for John Wick 3. And then I got 1917, which is a great World War I movie. And I also picked up Joker because I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
And I got all 3 of those movies for like $20 or something. So
nice.
Yeah, really good deal. And I just figured, well, I want to see how the PlayStation 5 handles those. What I wanted to get was Blade Runner 2044, but that is like a very coveted thing. They had it on sale for $10, but it sold out before I had a chance to even get it. So anyway, so I took advantage of that, dude. I pulled the trigger on it. So I'll let you know how the PS5 handles 4K UHD and how the TV looks. I'm excited for it. But I'm surprised you didn't get a TV yet. I'm surprised, man.
I'm guessing that price. So right now, Samsung has a price drop on all their TVs of like a couple $100 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I was waiting to see if there was a Black Friday drop of even more. And I have to imagine that Samsung manufacturer's price drop of a couple $100 or whatever is probably going to be good through at least the end of November, if not the end of the year.
Yeah.
So if for whatever reason there's no fucking deals at all whatsoever on any of the TVs that are in my wheelhouse, then I'll probably just buy one maybe Friday or Saturday just to secure one underneath the current price drop, even though if it's not as significant as I might like.
Yeah. Yeah. My issue is like, once I have my mind made up that I kind of want something, I don't know if you're anything like me, if the listeners are like me at all, but I will just look incessantly online at the thing that I want. And like, I'll try to like find the best deal. And then I'll start looking at reviews. Then I'll start watching comparison videos on YouTube. Then I go back to the phone and start browsing. And it's like, it consumes so much of my time once I decide like I kind of want something, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger on it. They're like, I just did myself a favor by just buying that because I knew like I'd just be wasting my time looking at it for the next like 2 months. So anyways, I'm happy to get it.
Yeah. I mean, the trick that I do with that is that like, I'm the same way as you in that regard. I get lazy about it and I get so meticulous about making sure that I have exactly what I want.
Yeah.
That if you search for, like for me anyway, if I shop for long enough, eventually the impulse purchase part of it kind of comes down a little bit. Sure. And then I know if I actually really want that thing.
Yeah, no, that's smart. It's like when you're at a store, like before COVID hit, like they say to just carry whatever it is that you want around with you for like 20 minutes as you look at other stuff. And then if you're still like, oh, I got to get this, then go ahead and get it. But yeah, it's like one of those things too. Like I said, I'm going to be cooped up. So I'm excited. And that TV is going to last me hopefully for the whole generation cycle for the PS5. So I'm good to go. Good to go on next gen completely now at this point. PSN has some really good Black Friday deals. And I mentioned the Metro one. I know they have one of the Tomb Raider games really cheap. It's an underrated game, I think. So if you guys are looking for some good deals on video games, you don't want to leave the house, you don't want to like have anything shipped to your place, you don't want to look online on your phone or just go on the PSN real quick. Check that stuff out. They got some good deals on there. PS5 is supposed to support VRR through HDMI 2.1. And then the PlayStation blog said that after a future system software update, the PS5 owners will be able to use the VRR feature of compatible TVs when playing games that support VRR. So it's a feature that's there, but it's not quite there yet. But they're going to be rolling out allegedly some sort of software update that allows that to happen on the PS5. And then last but not least, Sony indicated there is some news coming as a reaction to Microsoft Games Pass, but Jim Ryan wasn't revealing a single thing about it yet. He said that there's just some news coming Sony's answer to the Xbox Games Pass. Right now, we know we have the PS Plus collection, which is pretty good, but it's not perfect. But there's a lot of great games on there. Speaking of new games, the PS Plus games for December include Worms Rumble for the PS4, PS5, Just Cause 4, and Rocket Arena, none of which really tripped my trigger. But Worms Rumble actually looks kind of fun. But
have you ever played a Worms game?
Dude, if I have, it's been a long time.
Is Worms Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
It actually looks pretty good. It looks like a platformer, but it also looks like it's a 3D platformer. Like there's dimension to it. You know what I mean?
It's not like a side-scrolly one. It is.
Yeah, it's side-scrolly.
So but there's it's like 3.5D or 2.5D or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So there's a million Worms games, right? And the whole idea is it's like this silly kind of like battle game where you have you and your opponents all have like a set number of worms. It's like 4 or 5 worms, and they all have their own little health bar, and they all have their own little weapons and stuff. And you kind of strategically you take turns moving all of your guys and trying to basically kill each other. But the environment is totally destructible. And then they're constantly airdropping in all these random weapons that you try and pick up. Mm-hmm. And there's all these like tools that you can pick up to like help you traverse the terrain better to get more advantage. And you can accidentally like kill yourself by falling into the water. Like there's all kinds of stuff that can happen. Dude, they're some of the most like lighthearted, entertaining games I've ever played. We used to, when I was in high school, me and some of my friends used to like, 3 of us would kind of, I had a buddy who in his basement, he had 3 computers, and they were all connected on a local network. And we used to go over there, and the 3 of us would play like Worms World Party, which was like one of the earlier Worms games, just against each other. And it was just so fun just to laugh and play this game.
The games look fun. It looks fun. I think it's a fine game. I mean, I haven't played Just Cause 4 or Rocket Arena, and those might be okay additions. I mean, it's nothing that I'm like, oh man, I really wanted to play that. I'm glad it's free now. It's nothing like that. But, you know, with the PS Plus games, it's like one of those things where like you dip your toes in something maybe you wouldn't before, and maybe you'll find that you like it, you know, so...
Right.
I don't know. Cool, man. Maybe we can get on there and play some Worms Rumble at some point together. We'll see. Product not yet rated.
So I was just looking at...
That's right. I do want to apologize to the listeners. I had my speakers in my studio on while we were recording, so you might get a weird echo effect for the first like 10 minutes of the show. I didn't realize they were on. So everything I was saying, our whole conversation was coming out of my speakers and hitting my mic again. So if it sounds weird, I apologize. But other games coming out November 23rd, Goner 2 on PS4, My Riding Stables to a New Adventure on PS4, November 24th, BFF or Die on PS4, Just Dance 2021, PS5 and PS4, More Dark on PS4, Professor Rubik's Brain Fitness on PS4, Snake Boat, Autorific Arcade on PS4, Tesla Force on PS5 and PS4, November 25th, In Celebration of Violence on PS4, Mad Tower Tycoon on PS4, My Aunt is a Witch on PS4, and Out of Space Couch Edition for PS4. Those are the games coming out, and it is the 25th today, so all those should be on the PSN and available for you by the time you listen to the show. Jake, I don't have a whole lot to say, but it is Thanksgiving tomorrow, so maybe our listeners are listening to this on Thanksgiving. Do you have any well-wishing that you'd like to tell our listeners? Any Thanksgiving? Any, hey, thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
This is going to be a weird Thanksgiving, so I guess my big thing is don't feel obligated to go out and do something in public or semi-public. Don't feel pressured to do it. Because some people, like, we're not doing any family Thanksgiving this year. Like, it's basically just me and my wife are doing a little Thanksgiving dinner, just the 2 of us at home. You know, typically either my grandparents or her grandparents would have like a big family event. Neither of them are doing it. My parents are in Florida. Her parents can't get together because Sarah's mom works at a nursing home and can't afford to be exposed. Her sister lives in Pittsburgh. So, you know, yeah, it sucks that you can't see your family on a holiday like this or whatever, but I've been seeing a little bit of stuff, you know, even like experiencing a little bit of it at work and stuff where people are complaining about like how stupid it is that people aren't getting together for Thanksgiving and all that. And It's like, you know, regardless, one way or the other, how you feel about the virus, you shouldn't make somebody feel bad for wanting to be safe about it. And I think that, you know, you shouldn't feel guilty about wanting to stay home. And I understand that that can be a hard conversation to have with your family if they're one of the ones that feels like it doesn't matter, none of it matters, your family is more important, all that kind of stuff. Because there's this misconception that just because you want to stay home and be safe, that you don't care about your family. And it fucking makes me so mad. And it's not even that, like I said, it's not even that I think that the virus is this crazy thing that's going to kill everybody, or that I'm afraid to go out in public. That has nothing to do with it. It's the people that assume that you don't care about your family because you might be a little bit afraid of it, or you want to, you want to stay
maybe
home.
you want to protect your family. Right. Maybe that's it. Maybe you just don't want to possibly expose them. I mean, every professional advice that I've heard about this, and that's a really great way to end it, Jake. I appreciate that. And I'm sure the listeners do too. But every professional advice I've heard is don't do the holiday thing regularly, like you normally would. Like these are different times, and you shouldn't be made to feel guilty for staying in. You know what I mean? You really shouldn't. And I agree with you 100%. It's okay to have your own beliefs about it, but it's totally not cool to put the pressure, put the vice down, or the vice grips down, or the clamps down on somebody who wants to make that decision because they feel, just like everybody else has. Everybody has their own opinions, and they can make their own decisions. But you should not encroach your decision on other people. So if somebody in your family wants to choose to stay home, or if you want to choose to stay home, that's probably what you should be doing. Everybody's telling us that. So just be safe out there. Don't get yourself hurt. Don't hurt other people by accident just because you want to eat turkey with someone else. There will be next year. They're working on a vaccine, I think. These are weird times. But I understand there's a good vaccine. It probably won't be out for a while. And then again, there's a whole fucking thing about whether people even trust the vaccine makers right now. You know what I mean? We're just in a really weird time right now. And I'm glad that we have the podcast because we're able to offer a little bit of levity and a little bit of like fun, but ultimately, video games don't really mean anything in the long scheme of things. It's a hobby. It's something we like to do. But in all reality, if you're a listener and you've been following us, you've been listening to this, please be safe out there this holiday. And be safe for Christmas. And we do wish you a happy Thanksgiving. No matter how you have to spend it, you can always Zoom or do FaceTime with your family. And if you do decide to go visit family, just keep in mind the risks that you're taking and try to be safe about it. Jake, anything else, bud?
So the last thing that I have to say after that completely serious and dour note is that as much as I love, so this is a PlayStation 5 comment, as much as I love the snappiness and the built-in nature of the PS5's PlayStation Store, I think it's actually really bad.
Yeah, because you can't find deals, dude.
You can't find anything. You can't find anything in the store. There's no menu option to go look at the PS4 menu list. It's well, there is technically, right? You go to the bottom.
Then you got to filter
PS5, PS4, and then you can filter stuff. But how do you find the Black Friday sale? Oh, you just have to hope that it's in the Explore kind of sub
or
menu.
The collections.
Dude, it's bad. All right. There's some just basic fucking features of the PlayStation Store that are just not there. I don't understand why this shit is missing.
Why can't you search by deals? You know how there's a deals thing on the PS4 store?
Yeah.
You just click on deals and it shows you every single game at a discount.
Yeah, I don't really get why they made now maybe there's something about, there's something about how you use it that I just don't understand, but I shouldn't have to Google it. If I have to Google how to fucking find the deals on the PSN, they did it wrong.
You still can't. I mean, you can use the PS app. The PlayStation app on the phone works.
Yeah, I get that. But and like you were saying about the trophies too, why is it this production for me to get to where the fucking trophy list is for a game? There's no trophies menu anymore in the cross media bar.
It's not vertical.
You have to go into your profile and then you can find the game that you want to look at. You look at the trophies there, and now it's not even a vertical list that's easy to digest. It's this big fucking long horizontal atrocious crap. Obviously, can't have an episode of this show without me fucking complaining about something.
Yeah, quit bitching, man.
But I will say I guess it's kind of a small price to pay for how well the console runs and how snappy everything is and how good everything looks.
And the store looks good. It just doesn't. The function of it.
There's like some design decisions where I'm like, what the fuck is going? Like, why didn't they have this in here? Like,
yeah,
it's like you would think that, and I have to imagine that all of this shit will come out in the wash in future updates or whatever. As soon as everybody has their hands on this console, and they're like, "Yo, where the fuck is the deals menu in the store?" Because that's what most people look at. And here's a little conspiracy theory to kind of like send it out the door with. They don't have the fucking deals menu at the console launch because they want everybody to buy all the new games at full price.
No, I believe that. Yeah, it makes total sense.
So they make it hard to find the deals list because it technically is on the PS5, but you have to go not to the PlayStation Store, but to the Explore subcard in the home screen. And then in there's a link to the deals page in the store, which is fucking ridiculous in my opinion. Now, to be fair, all of the deals are on PS4 games. None of them are on PS5 games. So that could be their like kind of get out of jail free kind of excuse. It is kind of silly.
If they wanted to sell more games, they should have a tab that's like all PS4 games that are going to get a free PS5 upgrade right here. Why is that not an option on the store? And then you could see, okay, these ones aren't selling on Black Friday. Oh my gosh. Like they'd increase the sales of those games tenfold.
Yeah, but maybe they don't because they want people to accidentally buy the PS5 version.
Yeah, I suppose that's possible.
When it comes out. Like, let's say they have the PS4 version of Metro Exodus, and then the PS5 version comes out. Although Sony's usually pretty good about, like, the PS5 version would have, like, a thing on it that says PS5 included or purchased or something like that. So I don't think that's really what's going on. I think that it's just some games have it and some games don't. And Sony doesn't want to be this curator that's like, okay, this one has a free update, but this one doesn't. And then I have to sort all this shit because it's not based on what Sony wants. It's based on what the developer says, or the publisher. So I get how it can get kind of muddy there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still really, really like the console. I still think that's too big, but dude, I had an experience the other day where the fucking fan on my PS5 went nuclear. Like,
what do you mean?
It was literally screaming like my PS4 was. And I was like, oh no, like something's wrong with my launch console. You know what I mean?
What the hell?
It was right when I started it. Right when I started the PS5. It wasn't as loud as the PS4 gets, right? But it was, usually you can't hear the PS5 fan.
Oh, did you hear about the sticker that's coming loose?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a sticker that's coming loose that's right around the fan blade.
Oh, yeah.
And the fan blade will hit the sticker and it sounds like, and it makes this noise.
Oh, it's like a baseball card in your bike spokes.
Maybe, but so fast that like you can't really tell that it's,
Well, mine, it basically, you could tell the fan had sped up, and it was like that for like 2 or 3 minutes right when I first started the console, and then it went back to quiet again. So I was weird. Like, oh, well, maybe there was something weird going on where the CPU speed was fast for a minute or something. I don't know. It was a little unnerving to have, a console that I've had for 3 days all of a sudden do this and wonder if it's like a red ring of death situation or something like that.
Push Square, they're calling it the PS5 coil whine on Push Square. It says Sony's new console is undoubtedly quieter. This is straight from the website. Then its PlayStation 4 range. Some users are reporting an irritating whistling sound when playing graphically intensive games like Demon's Souls. This can range from a whining to a buzzing to a grinding sound. One fan has even hypothesized that it could be caused by a loose sticky label. Regardless, you can hear some examples of the noise here, and they have a link to it. How widespread is the problem? We're going to find out your experience. Oh, yes, I have. And my console is positioned vertically. Or yes, my console is horizontal. Or I'm not sure. How audible is your PS5 cool? I haven't experienced it. I don't know. How out of 3,133 votes, 34% are saying 51%. About half of the people that voted said that they had this, which is crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It could be. I wonder if it's people overreacting to maybe the fan spinning up in certain instances. Because the fan, people expect these things to be dead silent. And it's like, no, I don't care how good. a fan is, if that thing is running fast, it's going to make noise. Yeah, I wonder how accurate that 50 whatever % is.
Well, I mean, that's just of however many people voted. So,
sure.
My guess is people who don't have the issue aren't going to go to that link and look into it.
Right.
So, anyways, well, let's call it a day, Jake. Thanks for being here today. This has been episode 159 of PS. This is awesome. Like Days Gone, Doom Eternal, and Demon Souls. PS. This is awesome.